This is the Black Creative Handbook with Kassandra Lauren Gordon, your host. And today we're talking about affirmations for Black creatives. So yeah, I think these affirmations, what I'm going to talk about, they do work for anybody, but obviously I'm Black and I hang around with a lot of Black creatives just by default. And I feel that there's certain obstacles that we all have to get around, certain generational traumas, life traumas, which could be similar. I know we're not all homogenous group, but there are some similarities. There are some systematic things which Black people have to go through, which other counterparts will have to go through. And I just felt that this is very helpful. You might think, oh, Kassandra, it's a bit woo, isn't it? It's a bit fluffy. And there's nothing wrong, I do like science. I'm a very factual person, do my research, social researcher, got science degrees and stuff like that. But the fluff is buff. And it's very important to really look at ourselves and look at the relationship we have with ourselves and how can we make it positive. Self-development is not just a one-time thing, it's a lifestyle. It's part of you. Reflective practice is very important. How are you? How are you doing? No, for real. Take a moment. Have a think. How are you doing? Don't just say, oh, I'm fine. Like, have you done a self-check today to make sure? Because sometimes creatives are so sensitive beings, take things, you feel things. I know for me, I feel things intensely, and that wears and tears on my mind, body, and soul, on my creativity. And I just want to make sure that you take that time, a couple of seconds to am I okay today? Because your art matters, your creativity matters, your business matters to the world, even though some people might not think so. But you know in your heart that your art and creativity matters. Sometimes you've been working on this for all of your life and no one's caring, no one's giving you that traction, but you don't know, like one day the stars will align. Maybe not on your timeline, but the stars will align and you get where you need to get there. But in the meantime, in these trials and tribulations and on this journey, you know how people say journey, and it's a journey to that destination, and then the goalpost changes and you got to go to another destination. So on this bus journey where it has multiple stops where you need to get to, talk about affirmations. And you think like affirmations are for women. I think it's for both people or genders or however you want to identify. And for men, I'm talking to you men who listen to my podcast. This is not just a female only podcast. I know some men listen to this podcast too. Hiya. So why am I talking about affirmations for Black creatives, and why is it important? Sometimes we're not seen as humans for whatever reason. And we need to look at the human inside us. We sometimes make mistakes. Sometimes things are not perfect. But how do we roll with it? Even though you have to work sometimes twice as hard, you have to create much, you got to give a lot of emotional labor to what you're doing. Like, how can you overcome this and stop self-sabotaging and be your better self when there's so much odds against us, Just being a creative, but being a person of color as well. And I thought it was important to talk about what affirmation is before I give some suggestions. So affirmations are positive statements that can help you to challenge self-limiting beliefs and thoughts, and and overcome them with more positive thoughts. Your thoughts become your actions. So whatever you have in your mind, that's what sometimes you manifest that to be, good or bad. So the words are powerful. So what we say to people is so important, because that's how people perceive you and how they act towards you and how you think about yourself. So the inner work is so important, not just the practical work of being a creative. And there's some things which affirmations can help with. So there's science behind it. It's not just woo woo woo, there's science behind it. So it can motivate yourself and others. There's studies what prove that. It improves your mindset, positivity, and also improves self-efficacy. It's like determine your own destiny. Like, where are you going in your life? How can you help yourself to be resourceful to get to where you want to go? What is your goal? All important, those three things. And it's like you're feeding fruit to the subconsciousness, things that you're not aware of, about wiring your brain when you go to sleep, and it does all that magical stuff. When you wake up, how you're going to move, moving in silence, and being creative and moving to your goals. So I wrote down some things. I just want to make sure if I get the information to you about how people use affirmations. I personally don't have, you must do this way, and if you don't do this way, everything's going to fail. But the main thing is consistency. If you don't do it consistent, that's on you. So you can't go around and say, like, Kassandra, it doesn't work, it's not for me. If you're not consistent, just like how people listen to like their Skepta or their Kanye West or Drake every day, you listen to that every day. That's your affirmation. That's what you're thinking. That's what you're feeding your mind. That's feeding your subconsciousness. So if you don't make time of putting positive things about yourself, making sure that even you feel it or not, until you feel it, of where you want to be, you've got to make that time and be consistent. I can't say anything clearer than that, can I? So the way how you could use affirmations, you could say it in the mirror. Me personally, I don't do it, but people say it in the mirror. I am this, I am beautiful. Use I am or I have or something like those type of, statements. You can say it out loud. I usually say it out loud, or in my head I say it out loud. So if I'm with someone or I'm on the train, I'm like, maybe mouth it to myself, or see if I mouth it in my head or say it in my head. But make sure I say it in some capacity. Some people write it down. Sometimes I write it for paper or text or on computer or on my mobile phone, and then I say it just to reinforce it. Or some people sing it. There's different creative ways you can do your affirmations. So here's some of the affirmations which I've kind of made to help Black creatives. Don't know if you can see it, so I'm just gonna, don't watch my fingernails, but I'm a jeweler, so I refuse to let fear stop me from creating my own reality. So much times I let fear stop me doing things because I asked the wrong people. I confided in the wrong people, like, should I do this, should I do that? And people who are not like me or think creatively like me, or I didn't put myself in environments, it stopped me doing things, and I put things on the back burner and I wasted years. I don't want people to say, I say no to myself. I'll let myself say no. I'm not going to let no one tell me no or things what I can or cannot do. I'm not about that life. I'm not doing that anymore. So I refuse to let fear stop me from creating my own reality. I feel that deeply. You are the CEO of your life. You've got to make sure that you can create your own reality. Okay, this one is all about consistency and being very focused. Today, I will be intentional about establishing boundaries and limiting distractions to achieve this day's goals. Let me read it again. Today, I will be intentional about establishing boundaries and limiting distractions to achieve this day's goals. So it's all got back to the planning. I've always said this in my solo episodes about the planning and being super focused on what am I doing today? What am I doing today? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Even if I'm doggone tired, I'm going to do it because that's what I said, and I don't want to let myself down. That's the worst thing. You can let other people, when you let yourself down and give yourself excuses, it's annoying. So the next one, it's a long one. I release myself from attachments that no longer support my well-being. Loyalty to my family and friends is not a reason for enduring toxic behavior. I release myself from attachments that no longer support my well-being. Loyalty to family and friends is not a reason for enduring toxic behavior. Boy, when you grow up in a dysfunctional family and you think family is all what you got, or certain members of your family is all what you got, and you do everything to please them, you do everything, you bang over backwards, and people can still be ungrateful and horrible or abusive, and you think that's normal. It's not. It's not. You got to find your way, man, and be strong enough just to take your way, because I was in situations last year where it was very toxic situations, and it affected my creativity. It affected everything, or how I thought about myself. And you think at my big old age that I would know the difference, but it's so easy to get sucked in because of familiarity, or because it's family, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. That was a bit sad, but sometimes in the Black community there's a lot of trauma, and it's not always talked about, and it's important to go therapy if you can, or find a way of healthily figuring out how to deal with your feelings and deal with trauma. As a creative, it's like sometimes it's like, put it in your work, isn't it? How can you put it in your work? How can you put your sadness? How can you put your anxiety, bits of depression? Not just like, oh, I'm sad and this like that, but how can you use it, redirect that energy in a different way? Let me know in the comments if you've got any helpful things to help people to do that. Okay, my natural beauty is a blessing. So I say this to people, and people don't believe me, but I grew up and I still sometimes, I have to say this, I have to say affirmation about beauty, because I really feel like, no lie, I'm not just saying it for views, ugly. It's been so, people, family members calling me ugly, or people calling me ugly all the time growing up, and I think that I'm ugly, unattractive, and this really affected the way how in my relationships and what I tolerated and not tolerated, because I thought I was not worthy, but I am. I have a different type of beauty. I might not be the conventional beauty what people have, but I have a natural beauty, which people appreciate. I might not be everyone's cup of tea, but people do appreciate it. So yeah, it's I am a natural beauty, and you're a natural beauty as well, even though it's very hard in this world where people having lots of plastic surgery and IG models and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, do you boo, do you boo. But at the same time, it's really looking at yourself, and really, if you believe it or not, it's like your natural beauty is a blessing. If you're naturally beautiful, you naturally have your beauty inside and out. I think beauty comes from within. You're a beautiful person, it radiates out no matter how aesthetically you look. That's important, and people always remember that. And physical beauty fades, but your inner beauty never does. So I am a natural beauty, and it will stay with me to the rest of my life. Sometimes I don't believe it, but sometimes I need this affirmation, because there's so much pressure for women to look in a certain way, and I have to remind myself every day that I am pretty or beautiful, even though I grew up most of my life people telling me I'm not. Okay, next one. I will come through this challenge with a better understanding of myself. This challenge will help me grow. Let me say it again. I will come through this challenge with a better understanding of myself. This challenge will help me grow. So I used to resist failing and resist challenges, because I thought, no, I don't want it, I'm failing. But I didn't realize, when researching a lot of entrepreneurs and successful people, they fail a lot. So it's about failing fast. Failing fast Moving on, rapid prototyping. Try it doesn't work, try again. And don't worry about the sunk costs, or you might have spent a bit of money, but that's learning money. Sometimes you got to pay to go faster, and you might pay with your time, investment, energy, your crying, tears. But the main thing is about movement and moving forward. So challenges help you to move forward. So long as you learn from them and know not to do it again, and have it as a lessons learned. Yeah. Don't be frightened of challenges. As a creative, it's very important, especially when you don't have much resources. As a Black creative, it's like, oh, I got to deal with this. I got to explain why I'm doing this, about identity and my heritage. Or maybe I don't want to talk about my heritage in this piece. Why can't a clock be a clock? Why do I have to put extra in it? But that's a dialogue of creative labor you have to think about. Okay, another thing. Next one. I am responsible every day for loving myself. I have the power to treat myself exactly how I would like to be treated. I do. I'm responsible every day for loving myself. I have the power to treat myself exactly how I would like to be treated. I feel a bit emotional. Even though these are my affirmations and I say it daily, sometimes, depending on the day, I don't feel that way. I feel like I'm very hard on myself a lot because I demand excellence, and I'm just so into my dreams. I feel like sometimes I'm 10 years behind of my dreams, but sometimes late is better than never. And sometimes people compare me to other people, other artists, and makes me feel bad about myself, feel like I'm not getting anywhere, but I'm doing my best. I know in my heart I'm doing my best what I can with the resources I can. So I'm just going to keep on moving, and I hope that no matter, so like you try and do your best, and you're really not just I'm doing my best, like there's nothing you can do really, just do your best. And I know your metrics, your KPIs about how you want to perform, and just move towards that. This is very important. Make sure, men, women, how you identify, you need to make sure that you're loving yourself, because if you don't, who's going to love you? Who's going to care, fight for your dreams? If not, you're going to help everybody else's dreams. I am not ashamed or alone in having mental health struggles. There is strength in acknowledging this. Let me say again. I am not ashamed or alone in having mental health struggles. There is strength in acknowledging this. Everybody's got mental health, man. I don't care, the big CEOs or people, everyone's dealing with a mental struggle, especially as an adult. There's so much to think about as an adult. People got mortgages to think about, kids, so much stuff to think about. Some people are probably getting to, especially my ages, where like parents are getting older, they might have kids that are sandwiched in. They've got so much things to think about, and you don't know what anyone is going through. And I would lie and say that I never had mental health struggles, but what does that mean? What does that mean? We don't even know sometimes what that means. People have breakdowns, don't even know they're having breakdowns, And there's strength for everyone. I feel like everyone's got something to deal with, so there's no shame, especially in the Black communities. Like sometimes a Black, we have to be strong. I am strong. Like sometimes, or a Black man, I am strong. Sometimes you just need to say your piece, and so especially with sometimes Black men, it's like, we got you, Talk to us. Try to talk to us. Try to talk to somebody. As a creative, how can we use our struggles to make it our success? And we can make a coin out of it ethically. You can do that. Last one. I am determined to treat my body with consideration and love. I am determined to treat my body with consideration and love. Sometimes loving yourself, I don't really treat my body. Sometimes I eat crap. I used to eat crap. I think I said in another podcast, like My personal trainer tried to break up with me, like, no, I'll do better. She came and kick up the bum because I was eating crap for no reason. So treat my body as a temple. I need to eat good, to feel good, to help me have the space to be creative and the environment to do what I need to do and to do the business and everything to survive. So if I don't treat my body right, how am I supposed to act right? Come on, make it make sense. Make it make sense. So that's really important. I'm determined to treat my body with consideration and love. Because if I'm waiting for a man, I'm heterosexual, so I'm waiting for a man to do it, it's not going to happen. I have to do it, and then it radiates. Because sometimes, you know, especially when I was little or younger, I know when you don't show that self-esteem, you know, guys or people prey on that. They prey on that. They make you feel bad, even friends. So you need to, well, I thought they were friends. You really need to treat yourself, number one. It's not being selfish and being horrible, but you need to love yourself. Put yourself first, because no one else is going to do it. You give, become a martyr, and you get resentful. And, you know, martyrs don't get the, you know, don't about being a martyr. Why can't you just look after yourself? So it's very important to do affirmations, what suit you and what resonate with you as a Black creative. What, you know, don't use my words. What words? Figure out, go online, what works for you. And say that every day. Sometimes you want to like record them and listen to them. There's a car outside. Why car? You have to, but as a creative, you just got to keep on going. Go away, car. I'm not editing it out. As I said, minimal editing. I'm a jeweler, not an editor. And you want to improve your subconsciousness, you want to improve your mindset, have growth mindset, be a better person, be a better creative in this very chaotic, unjust world at times. And your art matters, your work matters, and we need you to be a healthy, functioning human being, to let your creative juices going, to contribute to the world, whether we like it or not. Art makes us feel alive, creativity keeps us alive, and inspire so many others. So please keep going. Try affirmations. Do it your way. Let me know what works for you, or any links or anything in the comments. I do have them, the pack of 10 affirmations I talked about. I put in you can buy them. I usually put like blue tack and stick it up, or you can give it individually as gifts to somebody. It can be, I did it in an arty way, so you can put them in a photo frame or something as a piece of artwork. These are very practical and functional affirmation cards, especially for Black creatives, and I hope that really helps. And I wish you all the best and success, all that struggle into success. And speak soon, Black Creative Handbook. I do have my toolkit as well, to help you to move to the next level as a Black creative. And I have my light bulb pendant. This is my switch pendant of taking action in the world, inspired by diversity and inclusion. It has cornrows and braids all around it. This is an award-winning gold in the Jewelry Oscars I won earlier this year in the UK. Very prestigious awards, so very proud of that, of my designs, and great for you to support Black businesses. This is one way, not with your mouth, but with your money. Or you can support content like this on Patreon. I have some Patreon members, and I love you to support Patreon. Support me, support the BCH Collective Nation. Speak soon.